Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Now we all love to go, but we all need to stop. Now brakes are such an important part of the equation when it comes to any vehicle, Boris. At BrakeX, how do you approach making brakes differently from the other OEM manufacturers out there?
Yeah, so we believe that the quality of your brakes should never be compromised, and being able to stop is really just the baseline of our products. And on top of that, there's the level of control you get, the amount of confidence you have whenever you need to stop your vehicle, and then there's pad life, there's sustainability and everything.
So how do you build your brakes that makes them different?
Yep. So when you look at our rotors over here, all of them are made of what we call a carbon-induced formula. The amount of carbon that they have inside the rotors are 10% higher than what you usually get in the market, except of those what we call high carbon.
And a high carbon brake would be something for a racing application.
Yeah.
But this is for an OEM replacement application here.
Yes.
So what does a higher carbon content do for you?
It holds your rotors a little structure a little bit better than others. It's more stretchable. It's more resistant to cracks, and helps performance, and your rotors do not wrap in extreme temperatures.
And the extreme temperatures are the enemy of brakes when it comes to expanding and contracting, so you've kind of steeled these against that. And let's talk about the different models you have here. This is sort of a basic OEM replacement, and we're talking about value here. This is with all the brakes you made. You're talking about bang for the buck here. So these are a high quality brake. How is this one different from the standard OEM replacement?
Yeah, so material-wise, they're all the same. This one is coated. It's fully what we call geomet coated, so it's fully rust-proof. Hub bearings and the outside part, wherever your brake pads are not gonna be in contact with, is protected by the coating.
Gotcha, and it's just a cooler looking brake for those who maybe are not putting it on a work vehicle or a daily driver or something like that.
Yeah.
Very good. And then moving down the line here, we've got a drilled rotor. What are the advantages of that?
So these guys, the drilled holes really helps getting the heat wave away from your rotors, and they cool down a little bit faster than all other kinds of rotors.
And the slotted rotors, sort of the same concept?
Yeah, it's sort of the same concept, but on top of that, there's these slots. They kind of work like a blade. They pierce through your brake pad, so you get a little bit extra stopping power.
A little extra grip the way they're curved like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. With your brakes, it's not just what goes into them, it's what you like to keep out of them. What are a couple of the elements you want to make sure there's not a whole lot of in here?
Yeah, so the leading cause of cracks in your brake rotors are sulfur and phosphorus, and we strictly control those two compounds in the metal in less than 0.2%.
How does that compare with other brakes that are out there?
We all usually try to really control it to less than 0.2%, but the level of deviation in other manufacturers are higher. So we are very strict in that element.
And now let's talk about the pads here. This is more of a racing application here. These pads, in fact, you're a racer yourself.
Yeah.
So you've applied all of that knowledge to making brakes and brake pads here. So what are some advantages of BrakeX's pads? So
all of our brake pads, no matter if it's a racing line or if it's OE replacement, they are baked, what we call heat treated. They're baked after they are formed, and what it does is this friction material part of the pads is going to bond better with the backing plate, so it doesn't fall off, it doesn't crack after periods that you use.
And I don't know how many times I've taken a brake off and that just falls right off the backing plate, and it's because of all that heat and all the heat and cooling and everything. So this is this will add to the integrity and add to the life of the brakes as well. And you guys thought of details too. You have the OEM replacement pads over there, and these are the clips that hold them on. These look a lot beefier, a lot different from the ones I see when I get brakes out of the auto parts store.
Yeah. So a lot of people actually they wanted to reuse their OEM clips instead of using those that comes with the brakes that they use for replacement. But that's something we're in mind too. These comes fully stainless, and they fit your car with no issue.
When we get over to the OEM replacement type pads, there's one little detail that you've paid attention to that I think is very, very cool, and it's the shim on the back. How is that different from others I might find?
Yeah, so when you look at our shims, Actually, you can touch it and you can feel it.
Yep.
This part, and the back part, these are rubbers. Wrapped in the middle is a piece of steel, and that's also fully stainless. So these are the magic that does to the pads and make sure it's silent.
Okay, cool. So the noise reduction, it's a big part.
It's
With
fully
brakes, it
silent.
can be really irritating.
Yeah, because without these, they're going to be squeaking. They're going to be running around your caliper. And with these on, it's going to stick.
You guys thought of everything. We know some of our friends in Canada are watching. How popular are you in Canada?
So we are the #1 bestseller on Amazon.ca for brake kits. So brake pads, brake rotors.
Get some brakes from BrakeX and find out why the folks from Canada know what they are talking about. Brake-X.com for braking at its excellence. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. So do not move.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Brought to you by Campbell's Custom Care, your detail specialist. Performance Fuel Specialists, protect your engine today and change the way you treat your fuel. And by Shade Wagon, throw some shade.
You are cruising along with Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Let me tell you a story. About 10 years ago, I bought a used pickup truck and it had a hard tonneau cover on it. And every time I needed to get something out of the vehicle, invariably it had slid all the way up to the cab, and this is what I had to do. This is my routine. Every time I get to the house or I get to the airport, I'm doing that. And I end up with messy clothes, and I end up sweaty, and I hated it. Guess what? There is help. How can you rescue me, Jeff? Please help me with this situation.
Well, listen, we've all done that. It's why we came up with the Bed Buddy. Bed Buddy is a very simple tool. It works really, really well. And it's just something that folks at home probably saying, I use a rake or I use a club or whatever like that. That's great. Bed Buddy is better than all of those. It's 20 inches when it's closed. So it's very small, very compact. You can mount it in lots of different places. But it extends out to a full 5 feet when it's fully open. That'll get you all the way to the back of a standard size pickup truck.
And everybody's looking at this wondering how strong it is. Is this going to hold up to pulling heavy stuff out of the back of the truck?
Right, so there's a case in there you'll see in a minute. Those are about 40 pounds each. We stacked up 6 of those cases on a pallet. It's over 240 pounds and pulled that out of the truck. It's very, very strong. It has a steel tip on it. It's a metal body. It's very, very durable and it holds lots of weight. We haven't broken it yet.
What inspired the birth of the Bed Buddy?
Just like your situation, I was on a family trip out in Idaho, whole truck bed full of luggage, baskets, all that kind of stuff. The only difference was that I wasn't in a nice air-conditioned garage like you are. It was freezing cold outside, the truck was full of snow, and I had to climb on in there and get all that stuff out. I decided that I needed a product that was just at the ready, handy, when I needed it to get all that stuff out. But more importantly, I wanted something that was up and out of the way when I didn't need it. So I didn't have to go and get something. I didn't have to go and get something out of my cab or go get something out of my garage in order to get all that stuff out of my truck. I wanted it to be right where I needed it, when I needed it.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, Jeff said he wanted to have something at arm's reach when he needed it. How do you keep the Bed Buddy handy?
Well, when you first notice the Bed Buddy, you see that it's got 2 27-pound pull force magnets on each Bed Buddy. Each Bed Buddy comes with a mounting plate. That mounting plate is used specifically for trucks that have aluminum beds, heavy surround bed liners, or plastic bed liners. Each one of these plates in the package comes with 3 self-drilling 3/4 inch screws. Takes about 60 seconds. You find a flat space vertically or a flat space horizontally in the truck or on the tailgate on the floor bed of the truck. And once you figure out where you want to put it, you drill in the screws, and from there you just attach the Bed Buddy, and it always stays right there.
And you made sure it was short enough to mount in a place like that?
Yes, we designed it to be 20 inches, so that way you can close your tonneau covers and you never have to worry about it hitting the tonneau cover.
Speaking of tonneau covers, I'm going to roll this one back so folks can see how the Bed Buddy actually works there. So obviously you have to extend it, and for long beds it works because it goes out to 5 feet, and that's about all you need.
Right, so most of the time you can open it up to the first 4 feet. More than likely that's going to get 90% of your equipment out. So you grab a box, you pull the box forward, move it out of the way, grab your suitcases when you're at the airport or coming home. Now, most of the time that's all you need. But sometimes you have something like a box that goes all the way to the cab of your truck, and you open it up an extra foot. Now you have 5 feet, and you take it and you can reach behind, you get to the back of that box, and then you pull that box forward.
And that, Dave, is why you don't want to hook. That's why you have the flat spade there at the end.
Correct. The flat spade will help you get in between the cab of your truck and in between the box to pull it out. Now, the other cool feature about this is we have all dropped screws or nails or bolts or washers in the back of our trucks.
And they rattle around there all day long.
They rattle around there all day long. You come home from work, you're exhausted, you don't feel like climbing your truck. Well, open up the bed buddy, turn around, use the magnets, and grab each one of those products.
Perfect. Same thing if you drop something under the truck as well. Bed Buddy makes things more convenient, but it can also save your body. It's a safety thing.
Yes, it definitely helps. What it helps with is climbing in and out of the back of your truck, whether it's a dry day, it's raining, it's wet, snow, ice, muddy from hunting or fishing, coming home, or being at the spot. It helps save you from having to climb in and out of your truck. It helps saves your knees and saves your ankles. The other thing it helps saves you is when you get in the back of your truck to climb in to get something, you have to use your back. You have to bend over, use your back, grab it, and pull it forward. With this, you no longer have to do that.
No more crawling up on the tire to reach in over the bed. No more crawling into the bed under your tonneau cover. The Bed Buddy is going to change your life if you're a truck owner. You can find it at bedbuddy.com. By the way, if you have a shop and want to become a reseller for Bed Buddy, send them a note, info@bedbuddy.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by dragonfiretools.com right after this.
Massachusetts and Missouri were the first states to require driver's licenses way back in 1903. But it wasn't necessary for drivers to actually take a test. Which state was the first to require both an exam and a license for all drivers? Ohio, Indiana, New Jersey, or Rhode Island? It was Rhode Island in 1908. Coincidentally, the same year the Model T made its debut. Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, coming to you from the Shade Wagon Studio.
We are Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, and we love bringing the folks what they want. This is a piece folks keep asking me about all the time. We thought you'd like to see it too. When it comes to motorcycling, you know, you're out there to have a good time, but safety is the most important thing here, Keith. How does Eagle Lights sell safety?
Yeah, we sell lights and safety. We sell plug and play, high grade, high performance lighting for Harley Davidson and Indian motorcycles.
So what's wrong with the OEM lights that these motorcycles come with?
They're not bright and they're not safe. We offer plug and play high grade replacements for them. They're 3 times brighter and they're the best you can get.
How important is safety when it comes to riding a motorcycle? You ride yourself.
Yeah, it's the most important. If you want to keep riding, you want to stay safe.
And naturally lights help you see, and they also help you to be seen, and that all starts with the headlights.
Sure, so these are plug and play, at least 3 times brighter than the stock headlight. So when an oncoming car is coming towards you, they're going to know you're there and you're going to be able to see what's on the road in front of you.
Excellent. Then you have a couple different styles here.
We have a variety of colors and a variety of styles. So we have our Halo style. It's an aesthetic upgrade. Some guys like that Halo look. We also have them available in chrome and black.
And let's go to the back of the bike now and talk taillights. Same sort of story there. You want it to look like it fits with your bike.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of different styles. This one's going to be one of our most popular. It's a strobing taillight. What ends up happening is when you hit the brake, it's going to strobe 3 times to let the people behind you know that you're there.
And most accidents on bikes happen when bikes are stopped, actually.
Yeah, at intersections and when turning. And that's when you're going to see the benefit of that light.
Cool. And you've got the red one and a couple other models as well?
Yep, we have them available in red, clear, and smoke. Today we have the red and the couple of smoked versions. And we have available in a bunch of different sizes. So these are layback design, which is a bit of a more sleek design. We also have them in a low profile if you don't want the blocky stock taillight.
Harley folks love to customize their bikes. They love different looks. How do you cover all that when it comes to the turn signals and the running lights?
So we have a bunch of different styles. These ones feature full running lights, all 48 LEDs. They light up white, and then they'll also color changes automatically to amber. So you don't actually have to do anything, it's all built into it. The ones on the bike that we installed, those have 24 white LEDs that go around the outside, and then there's going to be another 24 on the inside. A lot of guys like to use those to match the Halo style lights that we have.
And let's talk about installation for all of the lights here. You installed them in the studio. Didn't take a whole long time at all. How important is ease of installation to you?
Incredibly important. So we like to make things a 5-minute install. Taillight, it's 2 bolts and a plug. The headlight, 1 bolt and a plug. We like to make things simple. We have easy to follow instructions on our website, but honestly, you probably don't need them. It's pretty simple.
Obviously, folks are going to want to spend more time riding their bike than fixing it, so the ease of installation is important. Also, customer service when it comes to actually ordering these lights. How important is that to you at Eagle Lights?
incredibly important. So if you call us, you talk to a real person. You talk to one of us. We'll help you. Just call us with the year, make, model. We'll get you the right lights.
And speaking of year, make, model, how many different bikes do you cover? Is it just Harleys? Do you have other stuff available?
In the thousands. I mean, we cover Harley and Indians, main specialty, but we carry stuff from Honda, Triumph, you name it. We have a lot of lights for it.
And how do I know what you have in stock for my bike?
It's pretty simple. You just go to eaglelights.com, you punch in the year, make, model of your bike, and it will tell you exactly what you need.
So you're not just looking for a headlight, then finding if it fits your bike. You put in your bike and it'll tell you everything that's available for that motorcycle. It's super cool. Folks that use your products, how much feedback do you get from them, and how much of your R&D comes from that?
A lot of it. We talk to Harley and Indian motorcycle owners all the time. They tell us what they don't like, and we release new products based on their feedback.
How important is it that you guys at Eagle Lights are also riders and you know what works, what doesn't work, and that sort of thing?
I mean, I ride myself. I mean, that's how we started the company. So we wanted to make better lights because there were none available.
I know you're concerned with delivering a high-quality light that's easy to install. What if there's an issue? What kind of warranty do you offer?
Any of our lights, it's a lifetime warranty. As long as you own it, we'll take care of you.
Can't get any better than that. These lights are super high quality, way better than the OEM lights. They're going to help you be seen, and they're going to help you see out there on the road. Check them out at eaglelights.com. Stay tuned for more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com and more great gear for your ride.
Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store. Detail Studio, industry-leading auto detailing products. And by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
Well, check out my water pump right here. This one's actually fan driven, but here's the heart of the water pump right here. Look at this. Those fins, they're not there. They're actually rotted off. Not a good thing. What are they supposed to look like? Well, right here you can actually see the fins. Big difference. That's just due to a lack of maintenance. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. We're going to talk all about the coolant systems and the water pump and also discuss some maintenance. Here we go. Why do we even need a coolant system or a water pump? Well, what happens is you actually fire in the cylinder there at 4,500 degrees, that spark. Then you get about 1,500 degrees, transferring that energy over to those coolant jackets. Now, if you see the other graphic there, the water pump's job is to circulate that antifreeze or coolant throughout that engine to go ahead and carry that. Law of thermodynamics, my friends. We're taking the heat from the block, out of the block, and throwing it to the outside air via the radiator there. What's going on? Well, you can see the water pump right here. You actually have an impeller. That's what I was showing you. Ours didn't have any fins, no water circulation. Boom, that's it. No engine, catastrophic damage. Then you got the bearings and everything going to the front. So you want to make sure your water pump's in good shape. Even if you have a hybrid or electric vehicle, check it out. You got an inverter coolant systems. You're actually keeping the electronics cool. Len, it's hugely important when it comes to maintenance. AMSOIL has coolant, but you need a specific coolant for those vehicles, don't you?
Correct, especially with the amount of aluminum that we're seeing built into these vehicles now. Your corrosion protection package is what we're talking about. Our recommendation is that you make sure that you're using the recommended coolant. Check your owner's manual, check our website.
Now that's key when it comes to coolant systems. You saw our water pumps all rotted out. That coolant's probably never been serviced. Vehicles need service, oil especially.
Yeah, it's critical that you change your oil. And that's the main thing. That's the main point that we want to get across. Change your oil. We've got oils for whatever drain interval you like. We can go up to 25,000 miles. You can change it when the maintenance indicator goes off, whatever you like. The key here is that you're keeping those deposits down and that you're keeping everything nice and clean and lubricated. The main goal there being protection.
Yeah, I've seen engines go, 50,000 miles, you pull the plug, it comes out with sludge. We're talking about some high technology on these engines. It's important to have clean oil.
That's correct, especially with variable valve timing, different types of things that are coming out now. All of that has to be factored in. The oil needs to move, it needs to provide lubrication and protection.
Len, how do I know what's best for my vehicle?
Well, it's real easy. You just go to our website, punch in your vehicle, and it'll tell you all of the different products that we have.
Well, make sure you do your oil change and do what this guy said. Go to AMSOIL.com. They got something for everybody.
Our PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week is a true success story. Bobby Bennett grew up in Spartanburg, South Carolina, just down the street from the old Spartanburg Dragway. And long story short, Bobby got into the track for the first time by lying about his age. His parents made him apologize, but the folks at the track admired Bobby's passion and they gave him a job picking up trash at just age 12. In the next few years, Bobby would publish his own magazine for the track, become the track announcer, and even become the race director at the age of 13. When he was 19, Bennett started a print magazine called Competition Plus. Then he wrote for some other magazines as well. But it was in 1999 that Bobby Bennett latched onto this new thing called the Internet and launched Competition Plus as an e-zine and a website. And 25 years later, drag racing fans still know CompetitionPlus.com is one of the leading sources of news about the sport, and Bennett's empire continues to grow. Just a few years ago, the website became the first drag racing publication to roll out a digital app, and Competition Plus TV now has well over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Look for a new CompetitionPlus.com website debuting very soon, and be sure to look out for Bobby Bennett at the drag strip because he is our PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. Now it's your turn. You can nominate yourself, a friend, maybe a family member to be our Motorhead of the Week. Just go to motorheadgarage.tv and click the link there. That's also the same website where you want to go. If you have a product you want to see featured on our show, you can also send me an email, dave@motorheadgarage.tv. We're going to do this again next week. We hope you join us then. Until then, drive safely. We'll see you.